Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the extended for the reading Why Are You Single? Now, if you are just coming from YouTube and you haven't seen the TikTok, go check the TikTok out. It is on it's in my bio. But you can just also listen straight from here. I'll just do a quick little recap. We had to pick from two piles. The first one, oh God, I don't even know where the card went. Sorry, y'all. Okay. We picked from two piles. There was this pile, the gold pile, and there was a holographic pile. So I'm going to do the gold pile first. If you want to see the holographic reading, then just go to the comments. I'll have the timestamp for the second pile, okay? But for my gold pile, we were just talking about you creating a lot of kind of burdens almost for yourself because you want to be so perfectly stable and secure within yourself, especially materially. And it's causing you to like be in hermit mode. It's causing you to not really interact too much with people outside of you because you're only focused on waking up in the morning, going to the gym, going to work, coming home, eating a good meal, and then going to sleep, which is great. Like, obviously, it's great that you are creating a routine for yourself. You have stability, like financially and like whatever, but maybe you're like, I'm not getting into a relationship until I have a nice car, until I have a nice stable job and I'm making a lot of money and I have a nice house and yada, yada, yada. But realistically, like, let's say you are currently a manager, but there's no open positions to move up to a COO or something, like you need to like quite literally wait until someone quits or something for you to actually like move up. So it's kind of like, okay, you're just going to wait forever to get into a relationship because you're not where you're at with work or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the vibe that you have here. And it is seemingly holding you back a little bit from being in a relationship. So let's see what your soul is trying to, like, any soul lessons that you are trying to, that it's trying to, hey, like right now at this time, maybe you just like need to hear it out loud. Let's get right into it. Thanks for being here. I'm recording this randomly in the morning. Okay. Look at that. We have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I love that. So I just think that that's interesting, especially with the devil here, because they're quite literally shackled to like his seat. And it's like they're naked, so that shows vulnerability. And it's a man and a woman, so to me it's like reflecting like yin and yang. It's reflecting like your masculine and your feminine side, but they're shackling themselves. And I feel like with freedom coming out, your soul is like, hey, like you're shackling yourself just because you want to be perfect, and you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be exactly like it's not that you can never achieve what you want. It's just that once you get to that point, you're gonna want more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always striving to be different. If you notice, you can be striving for a goal for 2 years, you reach that goal, and now you're still feeling unfulfilled. You can strive to, oh, I want to move out and then my life will be so much better. And then you move out and then you're sad because you don't talk to anybody anymore because now you live by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be something. So you need to like just live. Just live, babe. Like, it's fine. Obviously, continue to work towards your goals, but do not do things because you don't have those because you haven't succeeded at those goals yet. Like, that's the difference here. I think that is what your soul is trying to get you to like open up to, because you're missing out on different relationships with different people because you keep telling yourself that you're not ready to be with anyone. But there's no you can't be ready for this. There's some tests that you just like can't study for. Okay. All right, you got friendship, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Maybe, I hate when the cards get all over the place. Maybe you are really, really focused on being this perfect version of yourself before you get into a relationship because of self-esteem issues. Maybe you have been in a relationship before and maybe they made you feel less than. Maybe they made you feel like you don't have this, I don't want to be with you anymore, and like, or maybe something happened with a third party, I'm hearing, and you were kind of like, well, why did they pick them over me? And then you were like, okay, well, maybe it was because I didn't have a really stable job and I wasn't making that much money, and they didn't like that. And like, this person has all this and they have all these material possessions and yada yada, especially with social media nowadays. Like, everybody's always trying to flaunt something. So, if somebody's like, oh, I'm going to be with this person, and then you go stalk their social media, and then you're like, LOL, this person has all these things that I don't have. Maybe that made you feel a type of way. And now you're like, well, I need to be up to par to have a relationship or to be with that person or whatever. And it's like, you don't need to be up to par. They're just a bad person. If this is a third party situation that we're talking about that happened to you in the past, they're just a bad person. Sorry. Like, I am so not for that. Like, personally, if you don't want to be with somebody, break up with them. It's not that hard. And if somebody is choosing to be with someone else because of material possessions and not because of like how they actually are as a person and how they actually communicate and their friendship, okay, like having a solid foundation of an actual relationship, and they're focused on material things, then that person wasn't for you, because you deserve more. I don't know who you are, but the people that do watch my videos, we're in alignment, okay? Like, you don't need that kind of person in your life anyway, so it's fine. But maybe it'll be good to work on your self-esteem, or to at least like figure out if that's the reason why you're so focused on like your material possessions, because your soul is like missing out on like friendship. I mean, we have the Hermit here, so maybe you've lost a couple friends. Maybe you haven't made any new friends lately because you've just been, like I said, going home and you're just like working on you're just working and you're working on yourself, which is good once again, but sometimes it comes to a point where it's like you're not even interacting with the outside world. You're just like, you're a workaholic because you just want to be perfect and you want to have all this money and you want to be able to pay for a cool car and like whatever. And once again, it's good to have goals, but also we need to like have a good balance here. Like, I think that there is some kind of purpose for you that your soul wants you to like. I feel like you have an idea, you're just going about it in the wrong way. Let's see actually what this purpose is that your soul wants you to follow. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Yeah, I think this is going to be a time for deep healing now. Especially after this reading and like seeing this, maybe it'll make you think a little bit more. Maybe you'll do some shadow work, like, okay, yeah, I do have a lot of material things that I want, and that's fine, but like, is it halting me? And like, why am I so fixated on that, And we have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Okay, interesting. I mean, the priestess is very like talking about your intuition. So once again, I think you know what your purpose is. It's going to require you to have a bit of a transformation. It's going to require you to move from a point of being shackled to move to being more free within yourself, okay? This is going to be really random and really weird, but also I can't say it. I can't say it. We'll come back to that. Oh, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Yeah, so you know what this purpose is. The cards aren't going to tell me because you already know. So I can't really help you too much with that. Do a little bit of digging within yourself if you feel like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But it's definitely there, okay? And maybe you just need a little bit of stress relief as well. Did I say that right? Stress relief. I think I said stress relief. Stress release. Oh my God, that's like such a tongue twister. Stress relief, okay? Because you're holding on to so much, because you're trying to like juggle so much, and like maybe you just like need time. Maybe like go to the spa or something, and then it'll help you think. For some of you also, this is gonna be a little weird, but go get that rose, y'all. Go get that rose, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Like maybe you haven't even like released anything sexually because maybe you haven't had sex in a while because you haven't been focused on relationships or anything like that. But like you don't need another person for that. Let's not forget. So that's like a very specific thing for some of y'all. But sorry, that was coming out. That's so funny. Okay, let's get some messages from any past partners or people that you had any kind of relation with, just to see like any love messages coming. Yeah, be optimistic. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You can't attract love with a negative mindset. Exactly. So if you keep thinking that you are not good enough right now to be in a relationship, then what do you think is going to happen? Please tell me. Because you saying, oh, I'm not perfect yet, I don't have everything that I need to be in a relationship, means that you are not ready for a relationship. And you're going to keep saying that because, like I said before, we're always going to be ever evolving and whatever. You're always going to want more whenever you get something. So you're always going to be in a state of lack. You're always going to be in a lack negative mindset. So try to change that, okay? Transformation, babes. It's time for you to see your inner priestess. It's time for you to see your inner like power, and that you are already amazing. You're already living in the stability. You're already living in the material wealth that you want, okay? Now you just need to focus on showing your love externally, okay? You show the love to yourself plenty, but you have to be optimistic. Make the effort. This love is worth taking risks. You're called to move forward. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to get out of this mindset, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to move anywhere. You're not going to get this love. If you're looking for love, you're not going to find it doing what you're doing right now. What you were doing was great for the time being because you were working on yourself, and obviously it's your life, so it's good to work on yourself. But now you're at a point where it's like it's stunting you romantically and even friend wise, like I said, because if all you do is focus on work and then going home, you're not making friends, you're not hanging out with people, you're not I didn't want to drop the card, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, I dropped the card. Man down. Ooh. Okay. And then we have gratitude. You need to be grateful for the love already present in your life to attract more of it. Wow, I love that. I love that a lot, actually. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Just pay attention to what you already have, okay? Once again, you're already doing it. It's that same energy. You're already doing it. You already have love in your life, and actually becoming aware of that will help you to move forward. Because then once you realize, wow, all these people around me, all my friends, all my family, they love me. They love me. And they love me even though I feel like I'm not at my best. And that shows something, right? That shows that someone can love me even if I don't feel perfect, like, even if I don't feel perfect, right? And then that mindset change might help you be like, you know what? If they can love me like this, then why can't I love myself like this? And then it's just a snowball effect. You'll start to see the difference, okay? But at the end of the day, you have to allow yourself to be loved, right? All right, let's just get a couple more romance cards just to see a little deeper, and then we'll get some advice because we got like 5 minutes. Any other romance messages? Honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So maybe when you do meet a person, make sure you enjoy the time. Enjoy the time with your friends. You know, friendship came out. Maybe that's talking about, maybe that's a part of the gratitude. Okay, nothing else wants to come out, so that's fine. We'll just leave it at that. All right, and then let's just get some advice from your spirit team. I'm gonna move this card down here. Just get some advice. Ooh. We have the Magician and we have the Two of Swords. And it's 1-2. Okay. I think that the advice from your spirit team about your relationships and how to move forward, yada yada, is to pick who you want to be. Choose who you want to be. Because right now, you're living in this false image that someone else has kind of morphed for you, whether it was multiple people or not. That other people have morphed for you, and you keep thinking that you are not perfect. But sometimes, I think deep down you know that, like, you're a great person and you deserve love. And especially, like, with the gratitude, like, and, like, thinking, like, hey, you know, my friends and my family love me, so I'm sure, like, romantically somebody could love me too. You know, it's like you have both sides in your head, in your mind, but you keep teetering instead of fully freeing yourself. And I think that your spirit team is trying to get you to, like, step into your power, step into your magic, okay? The Magician literally creates their reality with all the tools that they have. You have gone through whatever you've gone through, and take those lessons and those people and all the things that you have achieved in your life up until this point, all the things that you failed, all the things that you've learned, take those and create happiness for yourself, okay? Because, like, at the end of the day, you need to sit down and think, are you really shackling yourself? Is it really other people, or is it really you? And if it is you, what can you do to fix it? No one else is going to fix it for you, babe. You can continue to live in this confusion or in this lack, but she's blindfolded. She's blindfolded. And she has, like, 2 choices. She doesn't know where to go, what to do. But it's just like, she also has the power to take the blindfold off. She has 2 swords in her hand. She could easily cut the blindfold. But she chooses not to. What are you going to choose to do? That's what Spirit is asking. And that's what you need to ask yourself. Okay, this is the end. Thank you, my gold pile, for watching. If you got something out of this, I love that. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. I love to read the comments and chat it up. If you're coming from TikTok, thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that you got something out of this. I'll see you soon. Hello, my holographic pile. Welcome to your reading. This is the extended for why you are single. If you're coming from TikTok, hello. If you're just coming from YouTube and you have no idea what's going on, that's totally fine. The people on TikTok picked from 2 different piles. These are the 2 cards that they chose from. This ended up being pile 1, the gold pile, and this is a holographic pile. If you want to watch both readings, that's totally fine. If you want to just do this one, then this is your part, and then this is part 1. So you can see that in the timestamps in the comments. Okay, so for my holographic pile, if you were not here for the TikTok, I'll just go over that really quick. So basically, the overall reason why you're single at this time is just because you seemingly think that the world is against you in every possible way when it comes to relationships. You think that every relationship is going to be like ended in catastrophe and a lot of fighting and things like that. Maybe you didn't have a healthy relationship before, and so now you're kind of scarred and you feel like every relationship that you have thus far is like going forward is going to be like that. But you're seemingly holding on to a lot of burdens from a prior like experience, and now you feel like you just have to like be alone, and like you're kind of just like, I don't want to. Every time somebody comes to you like with an opportunity to like be in a new relationship, even to make friends, almost like you're like no, or like you start to nitpick very heavy. Like if this person does one little thing that pisses you off, you're like, no, I'm done, like absolutely not. And you kind of run away in a sense because you're like, I don't want to deal with this. You don't want it to end up bad. You don't want it to end up in conflict all the time and fighting and arguing and whatever the case may be. And so you're like, I would rather fight off everybody and just be by myself than have to deal with y'all, which I get. I already said in TikTok, this is probably my pile. Hold on, I have to drink. I never realized like how thirsty I get, like just like talking like this. Okay, but that's the rundown for your pile. Now we're gonna get some deeper information. First, let's see. I might pull different different decks for you guys. But first we're gonna see what your soul has been like trying to tell you lately about relationships. All right, you have Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. You know what's really funny? I know that this is my pile, not to like be annoying, but because it says has their own unique path. And yesterday I was trying to make a sigil, and I'm trying to make sigils in a different way because, sorry, this seems really irrelevant, but maybe it'll be relevant for some reason. Maybe you're working on sigils, I don't know. But I'm trying to make sigils in a different way because the way that people make it on like TikTok and stuff, like I just don't resonate with that. Like, I don't know. I never like the way that they come out. I think they're ugly the way that I do them. I think that other people are really good at like putting it together, but I'm not like an artist like that. So I don't know. I just don't like it. So I was trying to come up with a new sigil, but the phrase that I was trying to do was, I am uniquely beautiful. And I keep seeing the word unique now. Like I never, ever, ever see that word, but then I used it for my sigil and now it keeps coming up, and it was just like so funny. And now I'm like, ugh, I love that. But moving forward, sorry. Anyway, Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So maybe you started to become super judgmental because you are, once again, you're nitpicking everything that everybody else does, because you're like, any little thing that pisses you off, you're cutting off. Like you're like, no, that's all you need. Just one thing and you're done, right? So, and it's making you be more of a judgmental person, because now anybody that is not completely perfect, you're like, nope, no, you suck, you know? And it's like, chill out, man. Like everybody is different. Like, we all have our little issues, okay? I was saying in the TikTok before, like, for example, I live with my sister, and like, we're literally best friends. And I mean, I'm best friends with both my sisters, but I live with one of them. So the one sister that I do live with, there are things that she does that pisses me off, man. Like, living wise, like, you know, and I'm just like, we are just like not the same when it comes to that. But like, I used to get mad at her, like, in my head, and then I realized that there are just some things that you just can't fix because it's just a part of her personality. Like, there's just some things that it's just like, I have to just tolerate them because that's just who she is. And I love her, so it's okay. You know, like, I'm gonna tolerate it, you know? Like, and I feel like with relationships, there's gonna be small things or whatever that, yeah, maybe you don't necessarily resonate with, but everybody's not the same. No, even your twin is not the same as you, okay? Like, you can't be judging everyone for everything that they do just because they do things differently than you. Like, obviously, if they are being horrible to you and they're hurting you in some kind of way, or you are hurting them in some kind of way, then yes, like, stay away. Like, that's not okay. That's not good. I understand. But you don't need to judge people just because they do things slightly different, you know, in like a bad way. You know, you don't have to like shun people just because everything is not exactly perfect how you want. How would that even happen? Does anybody live in your mind? No. I'm being a little harsh, sorry. But like, that's seemingly what you do to other people. Like, I feel like you get low-key harsh because you're just like, well, you do this, so and it's like, are you perfect, miss or mister? I don't think so. Let's calm down. Like, don't let this like make you become like bitter in a way and like super judgmental. Nobody's gonna want to talk to you. Like, not to be rude, but all right, we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So interesting. We have, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Then we have, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So in both instances, it's talking about how everyone is different. So it's like you judge people for being different, but then you also can envy, or like maybe there's a feeling of envy because you know that we're all the same. We just have different challenges. So it's like if somebody starts judging you, then you're like, well, I am like slightly different. Like, my circumstances are different than yours. But when it comes to other people, you're easily like, you fucking suck. And they're like, yeah, well, I have a different challenge than you. So do I really suck? Or is it just like, these are just like my circumstances right now? You know what I'm saying? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Then we have gratitude. You might have been called to do both piles, to read both piles, because some of these are similar. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Start showing some gratitude, please, because I feel like you're so lost in the judgment that you're not even being grateful for what you do have. You know, you're just judging everyone. Like, you gotta calm down with the judging, okay? Please. I understand that, you know, if your circumstances like were terrible before, I get it. I have done that before. Like I said, I resonate with this pile. I've done that before where like people have messed me up and then I started becoming those people because I was like, well, they treated me like this, so I'm going to start treating men like this, or I'm going to start treating women like this. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. Like, you don't need to become them, you know, you don't need to like hate everything. And then I started realizing like, I'm always so sad that I'm single, but I have a lot of healthy, positive relationships in my life and friendships in my life. So it's not the absolute worst thing. Would it be nice? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, emotionally, I'm very fulfilled. with the people in my life. So it's just like, you gotta pick and choose your battles. I don't even know. Let's get some love messages for you. My pile twos. That might help you move forward. Different paths. Oh my gosh. You know, this is why I love tarot, because you can't make this up. Different paths. So I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. I just can't. Different paths. You are not on the same page with the person you have in mind. The directions you want to move into are different. So I feel as though maybe this past person or people or whatever experiences that have made you feel like you need to fight off everybody and be by yourself, maybe that is just because y'all were just on different paths. That's it. You just were not on the same path anymore. You can be with someone and be really in love with them and whatever, and then during the relationship one day, like, y'all both start to change, and now you're just like, okay, well, I just like don't resonate with this person anymore, and that's okay. You don't have to stay together. I unfortunately have like stopped being friends with people because I'm just like, we're just not this, like, we're not on the same wavelength anymore, which is crazy, you know, because you can be friends with someone for a long time. You can be in a relationship with someone for a long time. But if things start to change and you are a different person and that person is a different person, it's okay. It's not hard feelings, you know? It's literally just, if we met at this point instead of before, would we be here right now? Would we still be in a relationship? Would we still be friends? No. And that's fine, okay? Like, I think that there's a lot happening here with you understanding everyone is different. Because I think that you keep thinking that everyone is going to be like the past people that you've dealt with, and that is not the case. And you keep judging people that they're going to be like that, and that's not the case. And even if they seem like it, look at their full circumstances. Are they doing it out of being malicious? Like, are they being malicious, or is it just their circumstance? I don't know. There's something very interesting here about different paths and being on the same page and everybody having their differences and challenges and things like that. So I don't know. Maybe that means more to you than what I'm saying. Think about it. Put yourself first. Loving yourself makes you more romantically attractive. Maybe also remember, judging is also, whatever you see in other people is a reflection of yourself. I believe that wholeheartedly. If you have been on my channel, you know I love cliches. I wholeheartedly believe a lot of like those like kinds of sayings. And maybe this judgment, this envy is stemming from you being envious of other people. Maybe you're envious of people that are in healthy relationships because you're like, I've never experienced that. You know, you're like, well, how come every time I'm in a relationship with someone, like, it goes south and there's problems and whatever. And it's like, don't focus on other people and their relationships. Focus on yourself. What is making you, are you causing fights? Are you getting with people that you know you would not be like fully compatible with and able to like communicate properly with, but you do it anyway because you don't want to be alone, and then you end up in the same situation over and over again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look inward a little bit, because that seemingly is going to help. And it's like, if you love yourself, you'll, what's the saying from Person Being a Wallflower? You accept the love you think you deserve. If you love yourself enough, you're gonna know, like, hey, I deserve a healthy relationship. And that's what you're gonna attract. Then we have deepening. A relationship will finally deepen in the next few months. You've been waiting for this. Interesting. Maybe you're gonna deepen a relationship within yourself. Maybe, just maybe. But if you are deepening a relationship with a person, maybe you'll meet someone after you like have your moment of gratitude and figure out your things going on in your head. Open your eyes. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Interesting. So, okay. Obviously, I was kind of yelling at you before, sorry. You know, for like judging other people and things like that. But use your discernment, you know. Obviously, if you're judging someone, and like I said before, if it's clearly bad and like, you know, that you guys are just not gonna work together and like it's gonna be toxic or whatever, then obviously like don't talk to them. But I'm just saying, like, not only open your eyes to negatives, but just also open your eyes to positives, okay? If they're showing you that they're a good person and this could be a healthy relationship, don't throw it away just because they don't freaking close the toilet seat. You know, like, that's a really small thing. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're showing you that overall they're a good person and they just have a little bit of kinks that just are not, you just don't love, think about, you know, you. Like, I'm sure that you have a small little kinks that, like, you do that they don't love, but, like, they like you. So it's fine, you know? Like, they'll get over it. Because it's a part of your personality. You know what I'm saying? Open your eyes to the good and the bad. Open your eyes to the truth. We have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? I think that's a question for you and you only. Where are you being called to journey to? Play, have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious. It's funny that this came out because the bottom of this deck was humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And I was going to say it, but I didn't. But it's interesting that that came out, you know. I think that sometimes the judging and the making sure that somebody is not going to be absolutely terrible to you, which I totally understand, you know, you're looking out for yourself, can also cause you to just be a little too serious to the point where it's like, okay, well, you're not even having fun no more. So what are we doing? Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? We were literally just talking about that. The things that you see in other people, that you judge in other people, are a reflection of yourself, okay? What's triggering you? The things that you judge in other people, do you do those things? Is that why it pisses you off so bad? You don't want someone that does what you do? And if that's the case, then like, what do you need to change within yourself so that you attract someone that you do want, you know? All right, last but not least, let's just get some advice from your spirit team. Don't victimize yourself so much, okay? I know that your circumstances have not been the best probably, which is why you do what you do. But at the end of the day, if you continuously make yourself the victim and never notice your own faults and flaws and things like that, then you're never going to grow. Also, don't take the easy way out. I think a lot of the time you use this like judgment and you use like thinking, oh, I'm going to get into arguments with this person and it's going to be terrible and blah, blah, blah. You use that to run. But you can't always run. There's going to be some people that are in your life to stay, okay? Like when they come in, y'all were meant to be together. I'm not even just talking about romantically, like friend-wise as well. So you can't always just not talk to people just because of little things that piss you off, you know? Because it's not going to work like that. They're going to stay. Some people are going to be in your life. And you can't always run. And if you do always run, then you're going to have no one. You know? So it's like, my sister's calling me. Sorry, girl. All right, the Fool. I think it's time for you, and your spirit team is trying to tell you, like, it's time for you to, like, try something new. Let's try something new. You did the whole, I don't want to talk to anyone. Y'all pissing me off. Everything that you do is annoying me, so I'm not going to talk to you. You did that. Let's try a new approach. Let's try a new approach where you don't victimize yourself so much. You have gratitude for the people and the relationships in your life, and you're not so envious and you're not so judgmental. Let's just try to be, yes, it's okay to be cautious. You're cautious, but you're not harming. Four of Swords. And just like take some time to really think about what you do with relationships with other people, because I think there are some changes that need to be made. Putting yourself first, deepening relationships with people before you completely cut them off, opening your eyes to good and bad, okay? Not just the bad. Seeing like, okay, this person is like truly a blessing in my life and I'm grateful for them, and yeah, I'm a little scared, but it could be good. It could be good. It's not always gonna be bad. All right, that's what I have for you, my holographic pile, my pile twos. Thanks for joining. I hope you got something out of this. I plan on doing, I think I want to do a spicy reading soon. But yeah, random. But I'll see you in the next reading. I hope you got something out of this. Stay blessed. Bye.